Hi everybody, this is Ospreyeye from mychartcoach.com, and we're going to take a look at the indexes and some stocks that are in play today. Okay, so this is the bullish move that we were looking for on the Fed rate hike. If you've been following our charts in these videos, following our index analysis, you will know that they were all set up to bounce off the middle Bollinger Band. First up, let's look at the S&P 500 spider, the SPY. This is the ETF here, and notice that RSI and Fasto are both in the bull zone. So there was a nice crossover on Fasto, back in the bull zone, got a nice uptick on plus DI. If the green line can cross the black line, ADX to the upside, that'll be another signal the bulls are taking control. Okay, the setup yesterday was this bullish hammer. There was a small little wick here, but this is basically a bullish, this is a hammer formed off of middle Bollinger Band support. That's the dotted purple line. That is the key level to hold. It's the line in the sand. Candles forming above signal an uptrend. Candles forming below signal a downtrend. So currently this has been in a very strong uptrend, and then it consolidated sideways, and now it's bouncing off of middle Bollinger Band support. This is exactly what the bulls wanted to see. It hit the upper Bollinger Band, which is the next key resistance level at 239, and pulled back. So you need to see a break above that, and then the March 1st close. That is the high close, the all-time high close. If it can get above that level, then you could see a breakout higher. Currently it's in the sideways channel, and now it's going towards testing the top of the channel. And so what bulls will be looking for is a breakout above this high close, just below 240, and then they would like to see that level turn into support for continuation of this uptrend. Bulls want to see the candles riding EMA4 support higher. This is how they back when the chart was really strong. Notice how the candles were riding EMA4. So now they're back above that level. You want to see that support level hold. There was a bullish flip on PSAR. Notice the dots are now below the candles. That's a good signal that the trend is reversing. Down here in MACD on the 8, 13, and 5, there was a bounce, and so look for a bullish crossover. That will be another signal that this this sideways trend is ending, and that there's a new push higher that is starting. Okay, let's look here at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Okay, this is ticker symbol INDU for stockcharts.com. And the analysis was that it had formed these multiple dojis here, and indecision candles, and then closed right at middle Bollinger Band support here yesterday. So that close yesterday was signaling a potential bounce, and that is what happened today. It bounced off of the key support, and then it closed back above the EMAs. Notice that it held also the orange line, which is EMA 13. Now it's back above EMAs 4 and 8. It had closed above on this black candle here, but notice how when it was trending sideways, it was below those candles. If EMA's 4 and 8 support can hold, then that will signal a push up here to the upper Bollinger Band and the closing price here on March 1st. Those are the two key levels to break. This is currently down at the bottom to the middle part of this channel. This is the bottom of the channel, and this is the top. So now it looks like it's going to make a push back up to the top. If it can break this 21,104 zone, then that's going to be the signal that it's ready to head out higher, break out higher. Notice the Bollinger Bands have been tightening. The lower Bollinger Bands coming up fast. So, just like the SPY chart, this has been riding EMA 4 support higher, consolidated. Now we're getting the technical bounce off the middle Bollinger Band. If there's a break below the middle Bollinger Band and a close below that level for any of these indexes, that's going to signal downside risk and a potential start of a new downtrend. So right now the uptrend is still intact for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and we will be looking for a potential move higher up to the upper Bollinger Band. Okay, let's take a look at the NASDAQ. This is ticker symbol COMPQ, and this is the way you can track the action on the NASDAQ. You can see the RSIs in the 50 to 70 bull zone. It's still below 70. Fasto is now back above 80. This index runs higher above 80 on Fasto. Look at this last big run down here with the huge run. Notice how Fasto was above 80 the entire time. So now back above 80, this is signaling the possible start of a new breakout higher. Another bullish signal is this bull cross on ADX. Look how plus DI, the green line, crossed ADX to the upside. That's another strong signal that the bulls are taking control. Another confirmation is parabolic SAR. Look how the dots now are below the candles. When the share price hit this PSAR level, this dot level today, the dots flip below. And so now we've got this close right at March 1st resistance, just right below that level and right at the upper Bollinger Band. So NASDAQ has actually been stronger than the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It's been it's been hanging in there much better. Notice it had already bounced off the middle Bollinger Band, and then it was still continuing this uptrend. So now a close above this, 59, just above 55,900. This high close in March here. That's going to be the signal that's ready to break out higher and take it to the next level. So far, the uptrend is intact. If you see a break below the middle Bollinger Band, that's going to signal downside risk, putting the lower Bollinger Band on deck. Notice there's been good volume. The MACD on the 8, 13, and 5 is pinched. So if you see a crossover there and the black line crosses the blue line to the upside, that will signal the potential possible start of a new uptrend. If you look right here where it was pinched, and then the MACD line, the black line crossed above the blue line, look at the action that followed. That signaled the start of this big uptrend. Are we getting ready to start a big uptrend for the indexes? Well, only time will tell. So far, the charts are signaling a bullish reaction to the Fed interest rate hike today. Okay, now this is another index. This is the Russell 2000 ETF, and this is tracking the small caps, and this is ticker symbol IWM, and this has been under big pressure. And the small caps had been strong during the bull market, and they had a big pullback in the month of March. As you can see here, there was a high up here at above 140, and then it pulled all the way back down here and hit 134. And so it's trying to bounce off this 134 lower Bollinger Band support level. The candles had been riding EMA4 resistance lower. This was much more bearish than the indexes, than the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And so the small caps, being under pressure, it makes it really hard for the penny stocks to get going. We are looking for a bounce and a break above resistance to signal that there's a change in trend and trying to get a reversal on this downtrend. The close today was really bullish. EMAs 4, 8, and 13 all were closed above, along with the 50-day simple moving average, which is the green line. So the close above all four of these moving averages was very bullish, and it signals more upside potential. It hit the middle Bollinger Band at 138, which is the next resistance level, 138.10, and a close above that level it could signal the potential start of a new uptrend. That's what we're looking for now. It needs to break above the middle Bollinger Band, close above that level, and turn it into support. And if that happens, then we'd be talking about a potential run up to possibly 141, at least up to this March 1st high close. So it's going to be really important for the markets and for the small caps that IWM breaks 138.10 resistance tomorrow and turns that level into support. Want to see a close above that level. The break above the 50-day simple moving average was very, very bullish, along with above the EMAs. This has put IWM back in play. There was also a bullish crossover down here on the MACD 8, 13, and 5, and the parabolic SAR bullish flip. The dots are now below the candles. Those are all signals that this chart is really heating up. And check out how ADX is pinched here. If the green line crosses the red line to the upside, if plus DI crosses minus DI to the upside, that's going to be a signal the bulls are taking control as well. And then check out RSI and Fasto. RSI is now back above 50 and in the bull zone, and Fasto's at 49. It's hitting the 50 zone. They both have a whole bunch of room to run until overbought levels. So this could be a big reversal for IWM. We'll see if it can follow through. So I had been covering TZA, which was the small cap bear 3 times, and that was a way to trade the small caps on the way down. Now, if they're starting a new uptrend, we want to be looking at TNA for a potential ride up. This is the small cap bull 3 times. And so as you can see here, the chart's heating up similar to IWM. You've got RSI now back above 50 with lots of room to run. You want to see Fasto get above 50, and that will signal the chart's heating up. look for a bullish crossover here on ADX. You want the green line to cross the red line to the upside, okay, if you're a bull. And now check out the, it had the downtrend going with IWM, and then it had a big bounce and a close above, just the exact same setup here. We've got the close above the 50-day simple moving average and the EMAs, and so the big one to break is going to be the middle Bollinger Band at 107.05. If you get a close above that, then you're talking about a potential run back up here to 112 resistance. So that would be the key level to break on a close above the middle Bollinger Band. So this could be signaling a possible start of a reversal here. It has to stay above the EMAs. It has to stay above the 50-day simple moving average. If you see a close back below the 50-day simple moving average or it fails to turn EMAs 4, 8, and 13 into support, then that's going to signal continuation of this downtrend. In order to break the downtrend, it has to stay above these 4 EMAs and then get above the middle Bollinger Band and turn it into support. The chart is heating up. There was a bullish crossover down here on MACD. That's exactly what the bulls wanted to see. So you want to see this black line stay above the red line, and that'll be the signal that this new uptrend is starting. And the other thing that was to keep an eye on is this parabolic SAR. Notice the dots are just above the candles. If the share price hits 106.62 tomorrow, that's going to flip the dots below the candles, and that's going to signal potential start of an uptrend. Look here where the dots were above the candles, and then this candle broke above it, and the dots flip below, and that signaled the start of a nice push higher. So we'll be looking to see if this chart can heat up. All right, and then let's look at a couple of stocks that are in play today. RT is a stock we covered in a previous video. Ruby Tuesday here had the nice move yesterday above the middle Bollinger Band and above the 50-day simple moving average. The close above the 50-day simple moving average was signaling more upside potential. The one red flag on the chart is this gap down here. If it drops below the middle Bollinger Band, it could pull back and fill this gap. The close today back above the 50-day simple moving average was exactly what bulls wanted to see, and it's putting the 200 or the 100-day simple moving average at 260 on deck as the next key level to break. So this is really heating up. It's got this nice new uptrend going. There was really big volume yesterday, and then there was nice follow through today. I mean, if you look at the volume today, it was not as big as yesterday, but it was much bigger than previous trading days. You had to go all the way back here to when there was this big drop. So it shows you that people followed through today and loaded more shares, and they're pushing it higher. So this is looking good for Ruby Tuesday for a possible run to the 100-day simple moving average. The MACD bull cross, the PSAR bull flip, those are all signals that the chart was heating up. Okay, getting frothy now on RSI, hitting 70. Can it head higher above 70 on RSI? That remains to be seen. And now we've got Fasto above 80. So those are the two red flags. Can RT head higher in the overbought power zone on both indicators? Okay, and now the next one to look at is another gold stock, IAG. This is a gold mining stock that's benefiting from the big boost to the gold sector today with all with the mining sector and the Fed raising interest rates. Gold has had a very positive reaction to it, and IAG is another dead cat bounce play. Noticed it was down here at the bottom of the chart yesterday, closed down here below 340. Today there was this huge bounce above the 300-day simple moving average, which is the blue line. That is the key level to hold. It's the bottom support level for the simple moving averages for downtrends, and it's always the key level to bounce off. The close above EMA 13 was very bullish. Notice there hadn't been a close above that level during this whole drop. Now it needs to get above the middle Bollinger Band. That's the next key level at 396. Check out how the 100, 200, and 50-day simple moving average are lined up above. So there's quite a bunch of resistance. There's 4 key resistance levels between 388 and 434. If it can close above the 50-day simple moving average at 434, then it could really get an uptrend going. To really get something going here, it's going to have to bust through these moving averages. If it can do that, then you're talking about a potential run to the upper Bollinger Band. This chart is heating up. There was a bullish crossover on MACD. There was a parabolic SAR bullish flip. You have a nice volume spike. What you want to see here on Fasto and RSI are both of these indicators get above 50. If they can get above 50 and stay above that level, that's going to be your signal that the chart is really heating up and building strength. Okay, let's look at CPRX. This is a healthcare pharmaceutical company that had a big breakout today after a gap up open. So it was heating up yesterday. Notice this volume bar yesterday down here, how it was bigger than the preceding volume bars. That was your clue that the stock was heating up. You had to go back here to this day in January to see the last time that it had that type of volume. So that was what we call the front load, the people loading before the big move. Then today there was the giant catalyst with the big gap up open. And then the bullish development was the close above high close October resistance. Back here, this red line represents the high close for October, and so that's just above 145. That is the key level to turn into support. If the candles can stay above that level, then that's going to signal a breakout higher, and you could be talking about a retest of up here of the high of day today. So this is a nice move. You know, the red flag on the chart, of course, is the gap. There's a gap down here between high of day yesterday and low of day today, and so you know, on a pullback, the gap could fill. What bulls want to see is they want to see EMA 4 support hold over here, the pink line here at 131. On a pullback, that would be the other key level. Okay, so this is a giant volume spike behind the move, parabolic on MACD on both time frames. So yeah, this remains to be seen if it can sustain uptrend. There was huge money behind the move. The one red flag is that there was a long upper wick, so that does show profit taking and possibly a little bit of dilution. The trajectory on plus DI here is unsustainable. Look how it's completely vertical. You know, stocks can't keep going at that trajectory. The nice thing about the pullback is it did lower Fasto. Check out, you know, it was up big today, up 32%, but Fasto is only at 68, so there is more room to run. RSI did close at overbought levels at 84. Okay, let's look at CLSN. CLSN is now in the bull zone on RSI and Fasto. That's good to see. Plus DI is showing that the bulls are into control with the green line above the red and black lines. Okay, there was a nice bounce off the middle Bollinger Band, the dotted purple line today, following 3 red candles in a row. The share price hit the 50-day simple moving average here, the green line, and pulled back. That's going to be the key level to close above and turn into support. You can see here there was a close above, but it failed to turn into support and it pulled back. The same thing happened over here. Closed above the 50-day simple moving average, failed to turn into support. You know, right here it failed to close above. So you have this recurring pattern of hitting the 50-day simple moving average and pulling back. And so what Bull's looking for now is a close above 32, and then that level turning to support. And if that happens, then you're talking about the run up to the 100-day simple moving average at 54. So what bulls want to see is they want to see 24 hold the middle Bollinger Band and 32 break the 50-day simple moving average. If that happens, then the uptrend should continue. If it drops below the middle Bollinger Band, then CLSN will no longer be in play. Look, there was a nice volume spike behind the move. Anytime you get a declining volume pattern and then a volume spike, that's bullish and usually signals more upside potential. The very low volume yesterday on the pullback was signaling the sellers had tired. Okay, let's look at one more stock here. This is CMLS, and we're going to finish up with a dead cat bounce play. Notice RSI is now above 30. You've got Fasto now above 20, so they both just broke above the oversold levels. This is one of those plays that had the nasty downtrend, riding EMA 4 resistance lower, the pink line. Posting this chart today because it's the first close above EMA 4 since this big drop. And many times when that happens, if EMA 4 turns into support, then you see the bounce play. So what it's got to do is get above EMA 13 to make a run back up to the middle Bollinger Band. This has got a nice bounce going. It wasn't on very big volume, so volume's really light. You'd like to see a bigger volume behind the move. If it closes back below EMA 4, it will no longer be in play. Dead cat bounce plays are the riskiest trades, so be very careful, especially if you're a new trader. You could get burned. Check out MACD. There was a bullish crossover on the 8, 13, and 5. So yeah, back in play, but it needs to stay above EMA 4 and still hold EMA 8 in order to remain in play. If it closes below EMA 4, it will be a risk to hold. Okay, thank you for viewing this video. Check us out at mychartcoach.com and our YouTube channel at mychartcoach.com. Thank you.